You are the respondent in this divorce action, is that correct?
Yes,
And you, where do you currently reside?
I reside in Caldas de Rainha, Portugal,
Okay, and how long have you resided there?
for over 2 years.
Okay,
Could you tell me the name of the city again? I didn't catch that.
It's it is Caldas de Rainha.
and Mr. Shimisawa, you provided a timeline. You prepared a timeline, did you not, sir, about this case?
Yes.
And the timeline that you provided was accepted as exhibit number R9. I'm going to pull that up for you.
Judge, I'm sorry, this is Rochelle.
2020.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
during COVID.
did there come a time when you and your wife sat down with your boys and talked about the move and a decision having been made?
Yes.
And when was that?
It was, I believe it was December of 22.
Okay.
That's
And
when we had sat down and talked about the move to Portugal and made a family promise.
okay. And did both you and your wife talk to the boys about the plan?
Everyone was at the table, and yes.
Okay. And what was your understanding of the plan?
The plan was for three of us, Issei, Eugene, and I, are to move to Portugal during the summer of 2023, given that the visa is granted, and then start our life here, get settled, get things situated. And in the meantime, she would stay in Austin and pursue her nursing career for additional year. And she would join us in summer or fall of 24 after completing 2 years as a nurse, so that she can become a travel nurse and base here and continue with her career.
And when you say become a travel nurse, what are you talking about specifically?
Travel nurse is a nurse that travels around, and to become one, typically you would have to have 2 years of nursing experience to become eligible. So that's why she had to stay in Austin to keep working and to gain more experience.
And did your wife agree to these terms in the conversation with you and the boys?
Yes.
Did she say anything that was in limiting your move to 1 year?
No.
And did you put together a visa package?
Yes.
And the application was for whom?
For Eugene, Issei, and myself.
Okay, so for the three of you, you were applying for a visa to move to Portugal, is that correct?
Yes.
And was there any limitation that was stated relative to, you're going to move to Portugal for a year?
No.
Okay, and you and your wife executed some documents. A time when you and your wife, what was your understanding about what she was going to do under this agreement? That the family.
I didn't understand your question.
What was your wife? What was her role in this agreement? What did she promise that she would do?
She would allow us to travel internationally from June 1st to May 31st, because I wanted to travel around Europe and I wanted to take the boys to Japan. So that's why she agreed. And she promised to join us in Portugal after 2 years of nursing experience.
Okay, so that would have been 2 years. That would have been in the summer of 2024.
Yes, that
And
is
what
correct.
happened in the summer of 2024? What did your wife ultimately do?
Summer 24, she came to visit us in Portugal. And also it was a time when she expressed her desire to not to join us in Portugal and stay in Austin.
Okay, so she told you when she was visiting that she wasn't going to move to Portugal?
I believe prior to that, I think it was sometime in June when she expressed it. And yeah.
At any time has she asked you to move the boys back to the US?
No.
Has she at any time, has there been a request, not her telling you, but a request that you move the boys back to the US?
No, no request from her.
Since she told you that she was filing for divorce, have there been any discussions about the boys, about where the boys would live?
No.
Have you talked about them staying in Portugal?
Well, yes, because I have been messaging her back and forth, and telling her that they are growing roots here, doing well and thriving, and they want to continue their education here.
Does your wife have contact information about the school for the boys?
Yes.
And has she contacted the school to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
And how do you know that she contacted the school?
I know for a fact that in April this year, when she was planning to visit us in Portugal, she contacted Eugene's school called Brave Generation Academy, and asked the
Before we
teacher.
go on with anything more on this, were you copied on emails from your wife and the school about plans?
No,
Did your
I
wife
was
tell
not
you that
copied.
she was contacting the school?
No, it was I learned that from the faculty of the school.
Okay. Are you aware of any complaints or statements by your wife to the school about the children needing to be returned to Austin?
Objection,
No.
hearsay.
Same.
And are you, has your wife been aware of the children's enrollment in school?
Yes.
Has she made any objections to you of the children being enrolled in school for the 24-25 school year?
No.
And what about for the 25-26 school year?
No.
And when she filed her petition for divorce, she provided that they would continue to live in Portugal. Is that correct?
Yes.
And when she amended her petition, she still provided for the children to continue to reside in Portugal, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And in terms of the service issues, well, before we move from that, have you received anything on behalf of your wife requesting that you return the children from Portugal?
No.
Okay. And other than the one visit you talked about from the summer of 2024, have there been other times that your wife has visited Portugal?
Yes. She has visited Portugal during this December 23, August 24, December 24.
Okay. And you heard opposing counsel in his opening state that there were some problems during those visits, correct?
Are you asking me?
Yeah. Did you hear that he
Okay.
said there were some problems?
Can you repeat?
Were there any problems during the visits that your wife had when she came to Portugal after June of 2024?
During the December 24 visit, I have asked her to find her own accommodation
Okay. And
to
why was that?
stay, because I have discovered something. I have discovered her lie, and that didn't make me comfortable to have her. And also, she has become hostile, and I didn't feel safe to have her in my apartment. So I asked, and I never stopped her to travel to Portugal to see the boys, but I kindly asked her to find her own accommodation, and she can spend time with the boys. And the trouble you're referring to must be the incident where she entered my apartment and she would not leave. I kindly asked her repeatedly to leave my apartment, but she did not leave.
Okay.
So
And in that incident, was she attempting to take the children with her?
she was very upset. So was I, but she was very upset, and I was afraid that she would take the boy.
Okay. But did she do anything to actually take the children or attempt to take the children?
I don't understand what you mean by that.
Did she
Like
say, I'm going to
physically?
take the children?
No, she did
Did
not.
she say that the children needed to come home and that they were, the year had passed and that it was time for them to move back?
No.
Okay. And in terms of your, let me show you Exhibit 12. Sorry, Your Honor. Oh, goodness. Okay. Here we go.
The turning point. Mom decides Portugal isn't her future.
Your it's kind of proving a negative, I realize that, but is it your intention to stay in Portugal indefinitely?
Yes.
Okay. And is it your intention for the children to continue to go to school there?
Yes.
And are you aware of any, has your wife stated to you anything of changing schools for the children?
No.
Has she stated anything about the children not living in Portugal?
No.
Okay. And when you were served with the paperwork the first time around, what date did you get the original petition for divorce?
I believe it was June 9th.
Okay. And that was were you served by a man or a woman?
It was served by a man.
And did you read the certificate of service that was filed with the court?
The document that was in the envelope was
Uh-huh.
her original petition in English, and that was everything.
Okay. And she told you how you were served by a woman, is that correct?
Objection, hearsay, objection, relevance.
She told you, meaning who are you asking?
What is your understanding about the paperwork that's currently part of the court's record as to how you were served?
Are you asking me a question? I
Yes,
didn't
I am.
understand.
Okay, let me ask it a different way. Did you file a motion, a special appearance with this court claiming that you were not served properly and that the court did not have jurisdiction?
Yes.
Okay, and you originally filed that on on July 11th, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and then you also filed a partial motion to dismiss for lack of subject matter jurisdiction, subject to the special exception on June 23rd, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and those were the first actions that you filed in this lawsuit in Texas, correct?
Yes.
And in terms of your Portugal jurisdiction, if the court were to looking forward and a determination being made about custody for your children, where is the evidence about school for the future for the boys? Is
I
it
didn't
Texas or
understand the question.
Portugal?
Oh, Portugal.
Okay.
At least until they are 18.
Yeah.
They finish their high school.
Okay. And do the boys see doctors in Portugal?
Yes.
And have those arrangements been established with your wife's consent?
She is aware of the doctor's appointments. Whatever whenever I tell her, but they don't see the doctors that many often.
Okay. Are there extracurricular activities all in Portugal?
Yes.
Have they been back to Texas since they moved in June of 2023?
No. They have stayed with me for the last 2 years without visiting the United States.
And in terms of the expenses going forward for the boys, where will the evidence be, the information about what their expenses will be going forward? Is that information in Portugal or in Texas?
Portugal.
And in terms of witnesses about the children's best interests, other than their mother, are there any parties that you can think of that would be relevant in Texas that would be able to testify about that?
Can you rephrase your question? I didn't quite understand.
If we're looking at a future hearing on the children in custody, you
Mhm.
might call witnesses, correct?
Yes.
And do you have any family that's in Texas other than your wife?
No. I have when I stayed as an exchange student, I have a host family. I call her mom, but we're not biologically related.
Okay.
Yeah.
Other than visiting your wife in Texas, are there any connections to Texas for the children going forward that you can think of?
Well, they still have friends that they talk to on Discord or something whenever they play video game.
Okay. And has there been any break in the children's, has their residence in Portugal been continuous from June of 2024, no, June of 2023 to the present?
They have always stayed here continuously.
Okay, I pass the witness.
Mr. Talavera.
Okay, so Mr. Shibusawa, most of what you're saying is that she has never asked, that Miss Chislenko has never asked you or the children since you moved to Portugal to come to Austin. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. In your Respondents Exhibit 12,
For a few weeks, which I declined for the reason that I just explained.
right, you declined that, correct?
We declined it.
Okay. And Miss Chislenko has had to go to Portugal to see her children every single time since then, correct?
Yes.
And the last time that she was able to see them in December of 24, you called the police on her.
Yes, because she entered my apartment without my permission, and she was very aggressive. I didn't feel safe.
Okay. And in August of 2024, did Miss Chislenko have to come to visit the children in Portugal?
Yes, she came to visit, and we had a nice time.
Did she stay in your apartment?
Yes, she did. We even traveled together.
Did she come again in November of 2024?
No,
When was the next time after August of 2024 that she came to Portugal?
December.
Okay. Did you let her stay in your apartment then?
No,
Why not?
because she has lied to us about her travel.
Because she lied about her travel?
Yes, she lied about her whereabouts, and that was very disturbing.
So, Mr. Kumasawa, what I'm trying to understand is
Mm-hmm.
you don't think you're withholding the children from her, from Miss
No.
Chislenko.
No,
Okay. And you don't see how calling the police on her or sending her a message that she wouldn't find you and the kids seems like withholding?
that was to protect the children. We didn't feel safe.
All this time, you're discussing this with your children, right?
Yes,
That's what it sounds like.
Yes.
But you're not including Miss Jaslenko in any of these discussions.
All the communication was after October incident about her secret trip. All the
Yeah, hold on.
communication was
Her secret trip where?
to Las Cruces, New Mexico.
Okay, not a trip to see you or the boys. So
No.
you decided in December she couldn't see the boys because she took a trip to New Mexico.
She
Yes or no?
was okay. Can you repeat the question again?
You decided in December that you would not allow her to see the boys because she had not told you the truth about a trip she took to New Mexico in
No,
October of
that is not true. She came to Portugal to see the boys. I allowed that. I didn't stop her from traveling. I just told her to stay in somewhere else. I didn't allow her to stay in my apartment.
Did you allow her to take the boys with her to stay somewhere else?
Yeah, yeah. Kids spend good time with her, good amount of time with her during her December 24th visit.
But I still don't understand why this trip to New Mexico, why that impacted her ability to stay at your apartment.
Okay. May I speak about this?
Briefly,
Yes, basically, she was telling me that she was not feeling well. She didn't tell me about the trip to begin with. She didn't tell me her whereabouts. And after about a week, she told me that she wasn't feeling well and she was resting at home. But the truth was, she was taking a trip to Las Cruces in New Mexico. And I asked her where she was.
okay, you've
And
answered the question. Go ahead, Mr. Talavera.
Okay, Mr. Shibusawa, and then I'm confused again. You said December 2024 was a nice trip that she had in Portugal.
no, that was August 24 when she visited.
Oh, I'm sorry. So was
Yeah.
December 2024 not a nice trip? Because then I misunderstood.
Right. August, we traveled together in Portugal as a family. But in October, she did a secret trip to see someone in Las Cruces, and I found out, and I didn't feel I didn't want to have close. I didn't want her to stay with me in my apartment because I felt I'm betrayed. She betrayed us. That's why I
Okay.
refused her to
And
stay
then
with me, but I didn't restrict her from traveling.
you didn't restrict her from traveling.
Well, I didn't stop
Okay.
her from visiting us in Portugal. She has, freedom to travel.
Would you say, did she have to leave your apartment when you called the police?
I asked when she
Yes or
burst
no?
in.
Did
I
she have to
attempted.
leave your apartment when you called the police in Portugal?
She left the apartment at her own will after I attempted to call the police.
And your son was there when you called the police.
Yes, he was staying in his room. I told him to stay.
So you didn't allow her to freely take your children in December.
I let her take the boys and spend time. I just asked her to leave the apartment.
Was she trying to leave the apartment with your son?
She came to the apartment with so much anger. She wasn't making sense.
You're not answering his question. Listen
I'm-
to his question and answer his question, please.
2 countries, 1 family. Jurisdiction is the battlefield.
Okay, then can you ask the question again? I'm sorry.
Did Miss Jaslenko try to leave your apartment with your son?
Yes. She came to pick up the boys.
And you called the police in that same time?
Yes.
Yes or no? Great. Pass the witness.
Okay, without dwelling on this too much, let me ask you a couple of questions about this. Do you believe that your wife was having an affair?
Yes.
Did that change your wanting to have your wife stay in your apartment?
Yes.
Did you allow your wife to take the children in December of 2024 and spend time with them when she was in Portugal?
Yes, I was being very cooperative.
Okay, so the issue was not her taking the children. The issue was you didn't want her to stay at the house. Is that correct?
Yes, yes, that's the issue.
And the police never actually came, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And before this blow up in December of 2024, you've talked about the summer of 2024 where the kids were going to be in school and you said no, you didn't want them to go to Austin, correct?
Yes.
Were there any other times since you moved before December of 2024 that she asked you to have the children come to Austin that you didn't agree?
Sorry, repeat the question again, please.
Okay.
Before December 24.
Right. So when you moved with the boys
Mm-hmm.
through when things got ugly over, you thought she had an affair and you didn't want her to stay at the house, December of 2024,
Mm-hmm.
you've described one time when she asked for the boys to visit in Austin and you said no. That was in the summer of 2024, correct?
Yes, yes.
Were there any other times that she asked the boys to visit in Austin that you said no in that time period, when you moved until December of 2024?
Originally we discussed about kids are staying in Portugal for the first half of the year, from the summer 23 to December 23, and then spend another second half of the year, from January 24 to June or end of May 24, end of the school year in Austin. That was originally the plan, and I intended to keep the promise, but it didn't happen.
Okay, and did you come to an agreement about what should happen in the second semester for school?
For this second semester,
You just said the spring of 2024.
24.
Did the two of you reach an agreement on what would happen for school for the boys?
For the second half of the school year, actually Anastasia and the boys directly talked to each other, and they both said they wanted to stay in Portugal, and she
Objection to
agreed.
hearsay.
Sustain.
Did you and your wife talk about the final decision of what would happen for the spring of 2024?
I don't understand. Spring 24, so that's the second half of 20.
Correct, the second half of 2024.
So because she has already agreed with the boys about their stay for the second half year in Portugal, I said, okay. I mean, that's what's being agreed between the mother and the boys. Then okay.
And did she convey that information to you?
Convey what? What
did she tell you she was okay with that arrangement?
Yes, yes.
Okay. And after that conversation took place, was there any further discussions about what would happen for the boys with school after the spring of 2024?
No.
No discussion about coming back to Austin?
No, except for
Okay.
this summer visit that the opposing counsel has mentioned.
Okay, so the requested times from your wife for the kids to come to Austin were maybe a semester of school and some time in the summer of 2024, correct?
Objection
Yes.
leading.
Were there any times other than those two times that your wife asked the boys to visit in Texas all the way through December of 2024?
All the way to December 2024? No.
Okay, so she didn't ask and you didn't deny any time with the kids, correct?
No, because they have school. So the only time is they're during the winter and summer break.
Well, some of your evidence shows he's denying the summer. So, and we've got about 30 minutes left, so we need to move on to it. I need to hear from Mom as well. So you need to wrap this up, Miss Caps.
Okay. And when after December of 2024, when, were there any planned trips for her to see the children?
Yes, April 25 this
Okay,
year.
was there anything between December and April?
Um,
Did you ask for any
You-
other times?
no,
Okay, and the trip in April was scheduled to occur where?
in Portugal.
Okay, and at that time, is that after you learned that your wife had filed for divorce?
Yes,
Okay, and that's the text that we saw where you said, I won't be here in April, is that correct?
if she visit Portugal, then we won't see her. Yes.
Okay. And did you indicate when she would be able to see the boys in the future?
Yes.
And when was that?
I told her that we will see her after divorce is finalized and everything everything is agreed.
And have the boys had phone conversations with their mom?
Yes.
Have you encouraged that?
Yes. I encourage the communication between the boys and the mother, and they have been communicating.
Okay, and to just distinguish the times that you've talked about for visits with in Texas, were they ever a plan to go back to Texas for an indefinite time period?
No.
So there always been an end time that they would return.
Yes. Because they're based here. They live here. They have life here.
Okay. I pass the witness.
Mr. Talavera,
I have nothing further to this witness.
I have a question that I wrote down the wrong number. Hold on. Oh. How long is your visa valid in Portugal?
The first 2 years.
Right, and so opening up. Open. Can someone pull up Respondents Exhibit 11, please? So we can all see it.
Is that the translated? I've got it.
Yes,
You want
Whose court rules, Portugal or Texas? The tension spikes.
No,
Okay.
not on the document, but by law, I am legal. There's a huge backlog of residency renewal because the number of
I
immigrants.
did,
moving
thank
into-
you. All right, and Ms. Capps, given, I have other things, they're sending me other cases. I probably need to give Mr. Talavera a chance to call his client.
to-
And let me
Okay.
swear you in, ma'am, if you would unmute yourself and raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I swear.
Okay, thank you. You can put your hand down, Mr. Talavera, proceed.
Okay. Ms. Chislenko, let's just be very blunt here. You had to go to Portugal to see your children because Mr. Shibusawa, would not return to Austin with them. Is that right?
Objection leading, Your Honor.
I'll rephrase.
Thank you.
Did you request Mr. Shibusawa to bring your children back in summer of 2024?
Yes.
Did he do it?
No, he didn't.
Did you try to have conversations with him about them coming back with you in August?
Sometime, yeah, I still wanted them to visit at least for summer breaks or other times. Yes. I tried to talk to him about visitations both ways, me visiting Portugal and them visiting Austin.
What was his response?
So far, he didn't let the kids travel to Austin. And he was not really responsive when I tried to talk about visitation schedule. And this is what happened in December 2024. The only reason that I visited them in their apartment is to talk about my visitation schedule.
And it was during that conversation that Mr. Shibusawa called the police, right?
You need to answer verbally, please.
Yes,
Since that conversation, you tried to make plans to again see them in Portugal, right?
right. That is correct.
And in response was that message that we showed where Mr. Shibusawa said you wouldn't find him.
Right. Well, I wrote multiple times and tried to discuss my visitation, like my possible visitation and kids possibly traveling back to Austin, but he never was responsive.
Okay.
So,
And just to elucidate the point here, I'm going to, I don't think it's marked, but I'll have it marked. In this last summer, did you try again to get him to send the children during the summer to Austin so that you could see them this summer?
well, that's why I filed for the divorce, because I realized that our conversation is not going anywhere. So I filed the divorce, and that's why I'm here. Yes, I want them to visit Austin.
Have you spoken to your children over the phone since December of 2024?
I spoke with my children since December 24 until April. And after April, after their family discussion, they stopped communicating with me completely.
So
Even I
around,
did not answer text, and they did not pick up the phone when I tried to call them. And Mr. Shibusawa did not respond to my phone calls since maybe October 2024.
okay. So since April of 2025, let me be clear, you haven't spoken to your children.
To be clear, so I haven't spoken with them until August. So since August, I've received a couple of messages from my younger son.
And that's it, no phone calls
That's
since.
no phone calls. They told me they're not comfortable. I did not hear anything from Eugene, from the 17 years old, from my older son.
Okay. That's what it is.
With caps.
Ma'am, you're using the word visiting Austin, isn't that correct?
Yes,
And that's because they live permanently in Portugal, isn't that correct?
that is correct.
And they've lived in Portugal from June of 2024 until the present time, correct?
That's correct.
And you signed a statement, you and your husband, that said that the children could move to Portugal, correct?
For 1 year, and unless we agreed on something else. For 1 year, yes.
Okay, so it doesn't say that it's limited to 1 year. It says that they can move, and there will be visitation from May through June 1st. Isn't that correct?
No, it doesn't say visitation. It says he can travel with them.
I'm sorry,
I
that he
got
will
it.
be
I've
able to
seen-
travel internationally with them from May to June of the following year. Is that correct? Okay. And in terms of your communication with your,
There.
Oh, no, I don't have any further questions.
All right, thank you. All right, anyone else have any, Ms. Capps, you have further evidence?
based on the information that was presented this morning, I have 2 responses to legal positions that I want to raise in my closing with the court.
That's not evidence. So the answer to
That
my
is
question,
correct.
do you have evidence?
I do not have further evidence, Your
Do
Honor.
you rest?
I do, Your Honor.
Mr. Talavera,
The rest of them are close.
thank you. All right, I'll hear a brief closing.
Your Honor, I think that the primary issues that we talked about this morning are in opening are the same things that they have. Do these parties have issues about communication and decisions about visitation for the children? Yes, they do. They have problems like most families in going through a divorce have. But the question before the court is, what was the agreement of the parties on whether there was a relocation to Texas, from Texas to Portugal, and if that was a permanent move or if that was in fact a temporary move, and therefore would not be considered part of the children's home state. I believe that the evidence shows that there was an agreement that the parties would move, that the petitioner would join the parties, that there would be the 2-year time period after she had finished so she could be a traveling nurse and move back. That's in the communication between the parties and was not contradicted in any way, that was the promise that she had to join the family. It didn't work out. She changed her mind, and that's perfectly acceptable. But that doesn't mean that now that things have gone sour, that she had the intention in the past that the relocation wasn't permanent. I believe that the evidence shows that it was permanent, that she could have raised it at any time. She didn't raise it with the school. She didn't raise it with the court. She didn't raise it in her own pleadings in this litigation. There's one email after she had already filed for divorce, being upset about a visitation period, and by her own testimony, all about visitation. I believe that Texas does not have the jurisdiction as to the custody matters because it is the home state of the children is in Portugal, and whatever issues they have about visitation and the problem that they have, those are all things that will be decided where the children live in their home state, and whatever is appropriate. Of course, there should be time for the children to be with both parents, have visitation with their mom. In terms of the support issue, in looking at exhibit number 8, we talked about the simultaneous proceedings, and there was somewhat of a question about that. Let me share that.
Visa troubles and support issues tip the scales in court.
Texas law.
All right, thank you.
You're
Mr.
welcome.
Talberry.
Okay, Your Honor, so this case initially started in February when she brought the case. I will point out that, in April, he knew about this. Mr. Shibusawa, in his message to her in April of 2025, he says, I see you filed for divorce. If you try to come here, I'm not gonna let you, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna let you see the children, whatever, you're not gonna find us, that sort of thing. So he specifically says, we just found out that you have filed a petition for divorce on February 7th. So he was aware of it then. Getting quickly to the U.S. argument, I don't want to belabor the point, but again, the citation that's been on file with the court says June 9th, I think, and the initial pleading that I see from Mr. Shibusawa is July 17th. So there it is. It's the Monday following the expiration, the Monday following 21 days. That's well before that July 16th. So I think that argument, the UFC argument, fails on that alone. And that's it. I don't think I have to argue that, that there's anything else. Obviously, Mr. Shibusawa has substantial contacts with the state of Texas, given that they're marital residents, his rental properties, and other things. But essentially, Mr. Zlenko is not the moneyed spouse in this situation. Is part of the reason. So she brought this case pro se, and to me, what wouldn't make sense in the most basic terms is to have a court in Portugal who kind of is a late party to the game at this point do anything if the parties don't have valid visas to live there. So why would we just say, let's do it all in Portugal, when Mr. Shibusawa's own statements say, well, I don't have a valid visa. I promise I will get one, but I don't have one. And the idea is that the subject matter jurisdiction, I think the court can assume subject matter jurisdiction over both the child support, over the divorce, obviously, which has already been agreed to. And then I think the real question rests on whether this court has subject matter jurisdiction over the suit affecting parent-child relationship. I went over kind of the factors on that. So one, I think the court can find that it was a temporary as defined under the home state. And then after that, it was essentially kind of the unlawful retention of the children in Portugal. And so the court can find, subject matter jurisdiction still would be proper under that. Or if anything else, the court can kind of just use the wide sweeping idea of what would make the most sense as far as naturally how to have this the convenience of it. So if I think the court, in whatever fun legal arguments me and Caps want to do, I don't think any of that matters if we just look at the basic fact that why not do it here? Not a valid visa in Portugal. There's no way they can assume the child support, and there's no way they can take the petition for divorce. So why not rope in the suit affecting parent-child relationship here? And again, just in quick closing, I'm going to point out that, okay, even if they do, it's the 155-201 joinder of the suit here. Why wouldn't we join it? We have a statute in Texas. So if we're treating it like another state, we have a statute in Texas that specifically allows that joinder. So basically, I think we can have subject matter jurisdiction under the wide sweeping breadth of it. And if we don't, and if they have it, why not just join it anyway?
I have to say, those arguments make a lot more sense to me, but the other thing that I was struck by is that father testified himself, and I wrote it down specifically. The original plan they made was for the kids to come back to Austin in January of 24, January of 24 to May to 24. And that there was this document that has a time limit for when he can travel. How can he travel internationally beyond that date? So I'm going to deny the special appearance, and I'm going to deny the other motion to dismiss. I do think Texas certainly is the most convenient. The divorce is here. There's no argument otherwise. I don't see how any way in the world Portugal could assert jurisdiction over her. Well, any concept we have here of child support. And furthermore, I find that it started out to be a temporary agreement. And what's obvious to me
That's
is
not true.
father changed his mind based on he thinks she was stepping out on him. I mean, clearly the documentary evidence justifies that. And I have to say, sir, I hope that you will quit talking to your children about this. Children don't get to decide where they live. Totally inappropriate. Totally inappropriate. It's between you and their mother. She said and testified that if they want to live in Portugal, she's not going to have a problem with it. But you don't get to decide that she shouldn't see them at all until the divorce is finalized. So, Mr. Talavera, and I'd be happy to confer, and for all the reasons Mr. Talavera talked about, that's why it struck me that I looked at, and I have one of my really good friends lives in Portugal and went through the residency process, and I know a little bit about it, but if there's not a valid residency permit for the father and the children right now, it seems interesting and difficult to me. So I'm going to deny again the special appearance and the partial motion to dismiss. I would be happy if you want to put in the order to confer with the Portuguese court, but I'm going to assert jurisdiction if they want to confer. Happy to do it. To try to
Can we ask for a stay
international-
until after you've had that conference with Portugal, Your Honor?
No, I'm going to go ahead and make that now.
And
But-
as to what you said about his about changing his mind, or that there was the issues with the visitation, I don't think that that's the standard for the court relative to whether or not there was a temporary decision to move. And his testimony, I believe, as to the visa was not that he was there illegally, but that he was following the procedure, which had included the expiration, but not that he was there illegally. And
Well,
again,
no,
that
he
would be
said,
something
I
for-
understand. He thinks that he can get it, but he said it's expired. He doesn't currently have one. He thinks he can get a new one. I don't know. But clearly the evidence shows, the documentary evidence that from the court in Portugal, that his residency visa has expired. And there's no other evidence other than his non-expert testimony that he'll be able to stay.
Well, we do have the exhibits that were admitted from the Portuguese court, Your Honor, that does reflect that Portugal did determine that they had jurisdiction. I know we have issues, other
I
issues
understand that.
beyond that, but that is part of the record as well.
I understand that. I really do. But I think for all the reasons, and that's Mr. Tolliver, you should draft an order. I mean, so let's draft an order and get it to the Portuguese court with all, the citations to, clearly Texas is the only place we can do.
Texas wins jurisdiction, Dad warned. Case takes new turn. A ruling that redefines control and echoes beyond today. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.